time with Mom, story time with Dad. This is my favorite story time. Under the bed in my secret fort, and I'm gonna read Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Ready, everybody? Ready, kids? Yay! It's time for Rudolph.
As reindeer. Rudolph lived in the North Pole in Toyland, and he was younger and smaller than all the other reindeers. The other reindeers were tall and had big antlers, but Rudolph only had tiny stubs, and he had a big, red, shiny nose. It was a red, shiny nose? Yeah. Poor Rudolph, he wanted to be like the other reindeers in Toyland, but he was small.
Oh.
And he really wanted a brown nose like everyone else, and they made fun of him and teased him over and over again. Rudolph, look at his nose. Oh my God, it's so bright and red. Oh, he's different than us. Oh, it's just how I was born to have a bright red nose. And it shines. They still teased him. The other reindeers circled Rudolph, kicking up snowballs with their tiny hoofs and covered Rudolph with a blanket of white, fluffy snow. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's not no snowflake. And all the reindeer loved to play games. They played tree tag and snow slide and tumbled bones, but Rudolph was never asked to play. He stood behind a pine tree and watched. He was very lonely. Oh, that's so sad. But they saw him with that bright, red, shiny nose. Oh, yeah, they knew he was there. Rudolph couldn't even play hide and seek with the rabbits. His little glowing nose gave him away every time. Come on, Rudolph, let's play, but you gotta cover your nose, because we always know where you're hiding. Before Christmas Eve, Santa's elves posted a sign on the gate to Toyland. Santa Team Choosing Time, the sign said, and all the reindeer were asked to line up at 8 o'clock in the meadow. Santa Claus was coming to choose the team that would help deliver presents to every good little boy and girl in the world. That's so cool. I want to be on Santa's reindeer's team. Yeah. All the reindeers wanted to be on Santa's team. The reindeer fairly danced with excitement when they heard the good news. They pranced and tossed their antlers and pawed the snowy ground with their hoofs. Each reindeer hoped they'd be chosen to guide Santa's sleigh. It was the greatest honor a reindeer could ever have. Oh, wow, I want to lead Santa's reindeer sleigh. But you're not a reindeer that can fly. That's right. Rudolph sighed. He was ashamed to have Santa see his bright red nose, so he decided to hide. Oh, no, Santa can't see my bright red nose. So he hid behind a bush. At 8 o'clock, when all the reindeer had gone to the meadow, Rudolph hid behind a holly ridge. His bright red nose blended in with the bright red berries, and the thick growth of leaves concealed the rest of him, so no one could find him there. He's so smart to do that. But I bet you they can still see his bright, shiny nose, 'cause it glows like a flashlight. It's so bright. Down in the meadow, all the hopeful reindeer stood in a line, waiting to be inspected by Santa. Santa had come to choose carefully. Only the fastest, the strongest, and the best reindeer would do for Santa, because he had toys to deliver to all the kids at Christmas. I want a toy. I want Santa to give me my toy. I think Dasher will be fine. He's the biggest reindeer, said Santa. Dasher wrote his elf assistant in a big book. And Dancer is the strongest, said Santa, pulling his beard. Dancer, wrote the elf. So Dasher and Dancer are on the team. Yep. Ho, ho, ho. Let's see, Santa. Here's Prancer and here's Vixen. They make the smoothest landings on the rooftop. Comet is the fastest and Cupid is the most sure-footed, said Santa. I picked them. And last I choose Donner and Blitzen. They're the best at twisting over treetops and skimming over telephone poles. Yay! Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen are picked. Ho, ho, ho! Yes, said Santa. Ho, ho, ho! My reindeers. The reindeer and Santa's teams were very happy. They rubbed noses, they danced, and clinked their antlers together. Even the reindeers who weren't chosen were given good jobs, and one was trying to find electric trains. Another was to cuddle with Christmas kittens. They're cuddling with Christmas kittens? That's so cute. I want to play with the toy train. The only reindeer without a job was Rudolph. He wanted to help, but he knew he would be laughed at. Ha! So he stayed hidden behind the holly ridge. Oh, that's so sad. Rudolph was by himself while everyone else was playing with toys. I wish somebody would like me. I wish somebody would notice what I can do. I really would like to help Santa. At last, it was Christmas Eve. Santa's elves were busy packing the sleigh. In fact, everybody was busy except Rudolph. Finally, he could stand it no longer. I don't care care. I don't care if they make fun of me. I want to help too. So Rudolph came over. He dashed from his hiding place behind the hedge and went to Santa. There must be something I can do to help with Santa. Ho, 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 ho. I hope Santa sees me. I really want to help Santa. That night was bitter cold, and a terrible fog covered all the earth. Oh, no! How is Santa going to see with all that fog? I want my toys. Santa's elves kept bumping into each other as they hitched up the team. They could hardly see as they put on each bright red harness and tightened each jingle bell. We can't see. It's so foggy. How are we going to get the toys to the children? To make matters worse, Dasher and Dancer were fighting over who was going to lead the reindeer. I was chosen first, said Dasher, stamping angrily. But you always trip over the moon, said Dancer. Santa was worried. We'll never get there if you two don't stop quarreling. And where is my Christmas list? Dash it all, I can't see a thing in this fog. Ho, ho, ho! Where's my list? I can't see anything in this fog. It's so blurry. No one can see in the fog. Just then, a soft red glow lit up the snow. Thank goodness, said Santa. I found my list. Ho, ho, ho! I think I must have tucked it in my belt. But what is that red glowing light I can see through the fog? What is this, a flashlight? Who brought this fine lantern? Asked Santa. I must take it with me. Why, I can see perfectly my list now. All the good boys and girls. There's Mary, there's Joe, there's Ralph, there's Peter, there's Henry, there's Sally, there's Joan, there's James, there's Travis, there's Edward, there's Francis, there's Lucky. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, said Santa. I'm certainly glad to see you. Hi, Santa. Nice to see you too, Santa. Your light will shine my sleigh tonight. I appoint you the head of my team and #1 reindeer in all the world. Rudolph was very proud. Now he realized how special he was, and he would never again feel ashamed of his glowing nose. I'm unique and different. My nose is special, and it helps people, and it helps Santa glide the sleigh. Rudolph held his head high. Proudly he pranced to the front of the team. All the other reindeers bowed. Donner and Dancer helped Rudolph put on his harness, and Cupid gave him a beautiful sprig of holly berries. That's so cool. They're all happy. They're all working together and being friends. That's so cool. Rudolph is the coolest with his red, bright nose shining bright. Then down through the clouds and over the sleeping houses, Santa's team flew on that foggy Christmas Eve. And leading the whole procession was Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. He led the sleigh. So if you see a soft glow in the sky on Christmas Eve, you can make sure it's Rudolph, the most famous reindeer of all, is very near. So you want to wish everyone a lovely good night and a Merry, Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I hope you get all the toys and presents that you asked Santa for because you were so good and you were kind to others and you're getting along.
Read to you by Lady Twizzelton, your favorite children's book author, Sir Herbert Sneakies and his pals.